Hi everyone, this is DeFi Dad. Today I want to talk you through one of the newer protocols that is a key piece of infrastructure for DeFi, which is called the Ethereum Push Notification Service. So I've been working with them for about a year, and full disclosure, I am an investor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I obviously have bias, having believed in working with them the past year. So this is a protocol for notifications. You can build in notifications into any DeFi or Web3 product on Ethereum and eventually into any EVM compatible chain, something like a Polygon. So given all the DeFi applications I use, I can personally attest this is something that we needed yesterday. I have been desperate to be able to receive notifications related to my assets deposited in DeFi for a very long time. So I'm really excited, for teams like these to hop on board. So these are all teams that have agreed to be a part of the pilot program. And, if you've tried, Aave, of course, pulled together, Gnosis, there's all sorts of teams here. Uniswap, some of the biggest names in DeFi have already signed up. What you need to know is that the push token allows us to incentivize someone to potentially receive alerts that wouldn't opt in. But at the same time, if you are creating a channel, if you are sending out alerts, this is all powered by the push token. And then, of course, future upgrades and proposals are controlled by those holding the push governance token. So if you buy into the idea of the Ethereum push notification service, if you read their light paper, if it's an idea that you would like to get behind, and if you would like to become a part of the community, the one way to do that is to start earning the push token. We're going to talk through how you can get started participating in the protocol before they launch to mainnet in Q3, Q4 in 2021. Right now, they're in the midst of distributing a governance token, which is called Push. And so there's two opportunities here I'll talk you through. One is you can become a liquidity provider in a pool of Push and Ether. And for doing that, if you stake your token, you can earn a portion of the 34,600 push that's being rewarded weekly. This is a reward that diminishes by 100 push every week. The other part of this is staking push. So I can simply stake the push token if I already hold it or if I've bought it, and then I can continue to earn a portion of the 29,600 push that's being issued in the fourth epoch of the 100 epoch schedule. Okay, so before we get started, I want to remind you, this is not financial advice. This is not an endorsement that one should be buying the token. This is meant to be a guide to show you how to earn the token if you make your own decision and decide you want to be involved in the protocol. Okay, so here's some of the key information to know before opting into either of these pools. So first off, there's about 5.5 million push that's been allocated towards this rewards program. And the rewards program is based on push staking and those staking the LP token in Uniswap v2 for the push Ether pool. And either of these, the way that they're weighted or the way that you're earning that reward is it matters how much push do I own in the total amount of staked push. If there's, let's say, 1 million push and I put 1,000 in, it's 1,000 divided by 1 million. The other part of that, though, is how long is my push staked. So these are weekly epochs. The weekly period requires that I stay in the pool for the entire time or else I forfeit my rewards. So if I leave before the push tokens are issued every week on Wednesday around 8:30 a.m. UTC, if I leave before that time, I forfeit those rewards. The rewards program started on the 14th of April and it ends 2 years later in 2023. So this is a very long program, which is great because I personally look for opportunities where I can sit in it for a very long time, not having to like move my assets around and pay lots of gas and eat into my profits. Okay, so to get started, the first thing I want to do is consider whether I've already earned some push. So if I go to incentives.epns.io, click on the gratitude drop. So the team allocated 1,200 push per person if you either donated to their Gitcoin grant for round 6 or 7, or if you used their Alpha DApp, which again is on Ropsten testnet. It is not live yet, so you cannot actually use the EPNS DApp if you're watching this as of May 2021. It'll go live later in the year. But you can go here and you can see that because my wallet was used to donate to their Gitcoin grant in round 6 or 7, probably both of them, I can go here and I can claim my push tokens. So before I confirm claiming my tokens here, I just want to call out the fact that the gas price, of course, always matters. I am now on gasnow.org, so this is a great place to check how high of a gas price do I need to set to confirm the transaction as quickly as possible. So I'm going to choose to put in, let's say the price is what, around 81. I'll put in 85 and pray it goes through. So we'll hit confirm. All right, cool. So there's my 1,200 push has been claimed. So that's now in my wallet, and I can use that to participate in either of these opportunities. So I'm going to go back to the yield farming tab. Now, if I don't already have push that I've earned, there's two different ways I can get involved. I'm going to start with the simpler opportunity here on the right-hand side. You can see this is just for staking push. So there's nothing else involved other than me depositing push. And currently there is about 3 days and 12 hours left in this epoch. So it ends again this coming Wednesday around 8:30 a.m. UTC. And so if I don't have push, I can go to Zapper Exchange. So I'm going to click Exchange on the Zapper.fi website. And then whatever tokens I've got, if there's something I want to trade for push, I'll just look up push here. And let's say I'm going to trade some USDC. Maybe I put in 1,000 USDC. I'll get the best quote based on all the liquidity that we source through the 0x API on Zapper, and then I can trade that. So I'm going to skip this step because I already have push, but this is one of the many ways you can obtain push if you prefer to just hold the token and stake it through this opportunity. So before I even get started with this, I want to think ahead of how much can I potentially be earning? Like what's the estimated APR, APY from participating in this pool? And so if I look at this weekly reward of 29,600 across the 1.28 million push that's staked, I'm going to take 29,600, multiply by 52 weeks, because we want to annualize this so I can think about it in the context of all the other yield farms out there. So I take 29,600 times 52 and I divide by 1.28 million. And that will give me about 120% anticipated return. So that is an annualized return. I'm not going to earn that in a single week, but I at least know that I'm earning about 120% APR on this. If I've decided I want to participate in EPNS, I want to earn more of the push token so that I can have a voice in the future of the protocol. And if the 120% APR, if that reward makes sense in light of the risk that I am participating in a new protocol, that I'm staking value in new smart contracts that have been audited but still could potentially have a smart contract bug, then this is something I could move forward on. So I'm going to choose to deposit. I am going to hit the maximum here of 1,200. Actually, let's turn that around. Let's do 600 instead, because then I'll have some extra left over to participate in this pool. and I'm going to hit approve. Now, I could leave this as unlimited. I often choose the custom spend limit just to protect myself in case someone somehow gains control of these smart contracts. Then I would be at risk of them being able to drain my wallet of that push token. But in this case, I am going to leave it at unlimited. I'm going to take that risk because I'll probably stake more push later. So I'll leave it at unlimited. And then my gas, I'm going to check here. Let's see, so it's 73.7. So gasnow.org is showing me that I should probably put in a price higher of, let's say, 80 gwei to get it through. And I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. Okay, so my transaction just completed, which means that I can now choose to deposit my push to start earning more push every week through the issuance here of around 29,600, which will also drop to 29,500 and so on each week. So I'm gonna hit deposit. And I just need to choose the right gas price here. So let's go with about 80 again. All right, so my transaction just confirmed. So that's it. I'm in. I'm earning push each week. At this point, the 600 that I deposited is earning me about 7.18 push. That's based on me being halfway through the weekly epoch. So, it's likely I'm going to earn more than that. I'm not sure if it's exactly double, but again, keep in mind the time left matters as well as how much of the pool I own. So I've got 600 push deposited here amidst the 1.281 million that is deposited. And then this is my share that I'm earning. This coming Wednesday, I'll be able to return here and I can choose then to harvest it. So you do have to manually harvest. I can allow those rewards to accrue week to week and just leave them. That way I can save money on gas. But when I'm ready, I can come back and harvest it and I can restake more push token to earn a greater portion of the weekly reward. I'm going to consider now earning a portion of this Uniswap liquidity pool reward. So that you notice there's more here that's being rewarded because the LPs are rightfully taking more risk, especially with the impermanent loss that they're likely to incur being in a pool with a newer token like Push paired with Ether. So in order for me to participate in this, I need to first become a liquidity provider. So I'm going to go to Zapper Pools and I'm going to look up Push. So I look up Push and you can see here it is with about 5.4 million in liquidity. Now the 3.49% is just referring to the trading fees that are being earned here. Aside from that, the estimated APR at this point, given the 34,600 push that's being rewarded this week, it is estimated that it's around 395% APR. So that is representative of anyone who becomes a liquidity provider is earning about 395% annually off of the liquidity because of the subsidy of this 34,600 push. And I'm earning just a portion of that, of course, by becoming a liquidity provider. It depends how much of the pie do I ultimately own. So if I own more of the liquidity pool and I come and stake that liquidity pool token from Uniswap, then I earn more push. And just like the staking pool for push over on the right side, it also matters how much time I'm in that pool. So we're about halfway through the week, so I will end up earning less by getting into the pool now, but starting this Wednesday when the new weekly epoch begins, I will earn more than I earned this half of an epoch. So to get started, I'm just going to use Zapper pools to add liquidity. And thankfully I can do that. If I click invest, I can do that with any token I want, but I've already got push. So I've got 600 of it here, and I'm just going to use that, which will then split it 50-50 into Ether and push. If I wanted to add it with 2 tokens, I can go directly to the Uniswap interface, but in this case, I think it's much easier to do it this way. So I'm going to click balance of 600, it'll split it. This is the amount of the Uniswap LP token I'll receive. I'll end up with around 301 push and about 0.2927 ETH. And I'm going to click approve. So I'm going to choose a gas price that will allow me to confirm. I'm looking at gasnow.org. It's indicating I should put through about 85 gwei to get it through almost instantly. And I'm going to choose to confirm. So now that my approval transaction is confirmed, I can go ahead and finish this off by clicking confirm. I'm going to go ahead and change the gas price again. We'll move it up to 80 just to get it through faster. One thing I am skipping over is I'm being a little bit impatient with my gas prices just for the sake of the demo, but I would say I would normally consider how much in gas I am paying before I enter this and think about annually how much am I going to earn by participating in this opportunity. So the gas prices are actually a little more reasonable today on Ethereum, but they're still very expensive compared to some of the DeFi that I've been using on Polygon recently. Okay, so we can see here I've successfully deposited into the pool, so that'll synchronize my balance here on Zapper. So I'm going to go back to the yield farming dashboard on EPNS.io. Actually, it's incentives.epns.io. And now I can choose to deposit that liquidity pool token. So I'm going to choose to click approve. I'm going to leave the permission at unlimited because I might come back later to add more of the liquidity pool token. I'm going to choose a gas price that fits with what's on gasnow.org. So I'll put in, let's say 85 and confirm. All right, so my transaction confirmed. So I'm on to the final step. I can click deposit and just set the gas price once more and I'm all good to go. So I'm going to put it at 85 again and I'll click confirm. And so that's depositing my 8 liquidity pool tokens. So I did deposit nearly 600 push, splitting that into about 300 push and 0.3 ETH in the liquidity pool. But the IOU token, the liquidity pool token from Uniswap V2, that's what that represents. So there we go. So I've completed staking my liquidity pool token. So I'm earning 12 push from my Uniswap LP and I'm earning about 7 from just staking my push. These numbers, these two, will reset when the new weekly epoch starts this coming Wednesday. And then I'll have an available balance to harvest for both my Uniswap LP staking plus my staking pool for just my push. And in order to do that, I would just click the harvest button. But it's very likely that I'll let those rewards accrue week to week until it becomes a balance that I think is worth paying the gas to harvest and then possibly restake that balance in, let's say, the staking pool to earn more push. So that's everything you need to know. Just the few things I want to call out in terms of risks. First off, EPNS contracts for these yield farming opportunities have been audited, but that doesn't mean that there isn't some vulnerability there that could be exploited. So these are new contracts. I would definitely consider the risk of, whether or not there could be an exploit in the future. These are contracts also that I can't buy cover for yet. So I will eventually insure this through something like Nexus Mutual. Nexus Mutual has just begun considering whether to insure them. So that's something I look forward to in the future. Given that I'm exposed to Uniswap V2, that's another bit of smart contract risk to consider. I think it's less so just because Uniswap V2 is such battle tested smart contracts. Something that's less of a risk but just more of a reality is that if I'm in this pool in Uniswap, I'm likely to incur impermanent loss. That's why I'm being rewarded with more push, is to help compensate for that, along with the fact that I'm clearly helping to bootstrap liquidity for push, and hence they're rewarding me with more of a voice in the future governance of the EPNS protocol. Another thing to consider, again, less of a risk, but just more of a reality, is that either one of these pools can become more diluted in the rewards over time. So if lots and lots of people become a Uniswap LP and they stake the LP token, well, then I'm going to earn less of the pie unless I'm adding more value to this. Same thing over here. If we get up to 2 million push staked, I'm going to earn less with my 600 push deposited. But I earn more right now because it's a smaller pie than, let's say, that future size of the pool. In terms of the way I calculated the 395% APR for the Uniswap LP staking and the 120% estimated APR for the push staking, both of those were based on a push price of $3.60. So that can go up or down. If the price of push, which is my reward here, if that falls in price against the US dollar in my case, well, then my rewards become smaller. But then if the price of push goes up, of course, then I'm technically earning a greater reward than what I was previously. So just be aware of that. Again, it's less of a risk and more of just the reality of yield farming. I would encourage you to go to EPNS.io to learn more about the protocol. Feel free to ask me questions in the YouTube comments. You can message me on Twitter. I would also encourage you, if you go to EPNS.io, they have a Telegram channel and the team is very responsive there. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.